Hello from the Appalachian Trail. It's day 20, and this is about mile 144. So this is where I ended up for the day. This is Sassafras Gap Shelter. This is a pretty big shelter as shelters go. It's a double-decker. So I started today from the Knock, and it was snowing when I started, and it snowed the whole time I came all the way up here, and it was kind of tricky walking on 1 or 2 inches of snow because you can't see what's under the snow. So it stopped now, but freezing rain in the forecast for tonight. So what I did was, it was snowing so bad today, I couldn't find a good place to take lunch. So this is actually about 7 miles up the mountain, straight up almost, about probably just over 3,000 feet in 7 miles. So I took a little break about halfway up, but I couldn't find any place to take a good lunch break. So I just came here. Got here about 2 o'clock and had lunch at the shelter. So I've been here ever since. It's about 4 o'clock now. And because it's going to be freezing rain, I set up my hammock in the upper balcony. So I'll show you that. So I had some lunch here. Had my tuna fish today with some mayo on a tortilla. So that's pretty much my lunch stuff there. And then I cooked up some hot water for my misukaru. Over here I got some water. I use the Aquamera drops now. So that stuff is ready to go. Actually, I think I need to add that in there. Let me do that. So there's a creek right off the side here where I get my water. Pour this stuff in there. So what you do is you mix up the drops, the A and the B. You put it in this little white cup. You wait 5 minutes or so, and then you dump it into a liter of water. And then supposedly half hour later, it's good to go. So this is all my food stuff down here. This is my Ursack bear bag. It's grizzly bear rated, which means the grizzly bear can't get into the bag if you tie it right. The material is like bulletproof Dyneema stuff. So what I do is I take all my food, put it into this bag, and then I'll find a tree out here and just tie it to a tree. And then you can see in here, this is to keep the mice out of your backpack, I guess. So everything, all the food goes in my bear bag, and that gets tied to a tree. Everything else is going to go into my backpack up here. And maybe I'll hang it from one of these, but I've never slept in a shelter with that backpack. I think I can just cinch it all down. I think it's Cuban fiber. I think it's mouse proof, but maybe I'll hang it up. I don't want to take the chance. So here's my hammock up here. I'm hanging from the rafters. They just happen to be at the right distance. So you can see my underquilt is just on the bottom there. You can't really see it, but all that junk. There's not that much space up there. I hit my head twice on the rafters setting this thing up. But I don't have to deal with any ice tomorrow and freezing rain being in the shelter. The only thing I have to deal with is the mice. So my bug net over here on the end, I'll just pull it over and zip it up and put my earplugs in. You can see my earplugs hanging in that little pocket there. So this is my home for the night. Kind of a nice view. Most shelters, I should say, well, all the shelters I've seen so far have a privy. It's a composting privy. So that's it over to the side. I did take a look around for some trees. Didn't find any that were kind of on this level ground here that were the right distance. I'm sure I could have found something if I had to up on the hill. I've done that before already. But nobody's crazy enough to be out here in this weather, so I think I'm okay just hanging my hammock up here. And if somebody does come, they got the whole bottom part of this shelter. They've got a whole like 7 people on the bottom, and then maybe a couple more up top. But I don't expect anybody to come by tonight. So this is I'm on my first day coming out of the knock, so I got a full load of food. It's pretty good. My feet feel good. It was a long climb in the snow, but it was kind of fun actually. Let's see, it's Wednesday now. Hopefully I will be in the Fontana Dam Lodge on Sunday to watch the AFC and NFC championship game. And this over here is the creek where I get my water. They always put a shelter next to a good source of water. So another good reason to have lunch or dinner at the shelter. Not as cozy as being home with my Yobo, but it'll do for tonight.